Remember, there's a 5 or 10 second delay. All right, it's evenly split. I'll go over it briefly. So let's start from scratch. We'll go to select the talking face, and then you could select the talking faces here. And then you could then say create video. So that's what I did, is I used this one, which isn't available to you because this is my own. And if you want one for yourself, pay attention later in the webinar. Okay, so that's what I did. And now that I've selected that, of course, the next thing you would want to do is you would just put on the upper right a video title. It's now thrown me into step 2, by the way. So if you click on talking faces, it's now thrown me into create a talking face once I selected it. You could have selected it from the left-hand side of your screen. See how I'm scrolling down? You could have done that and skipped that first step, but let's do this in order. So video title, next thing, choose style, full body or circle. In this case, only full body is available to me. Next thing would be to select the emotions. The emotions are those beginnings. You know, I don't have an emotion connected with mine. In fact, let's go back and select someone else's, a different one. So we'll start from the beginning. Talking faces, select the talking face. All right, and I'm going to pick one like this guy, Adrian. Create video. We could have previewed it, but we went to create video. We could pick circle or full body. Don't forget the title. Circle's larger, but misses some body movements. Then select emotions. He has some funny ones, like this one, number 3. That's the beginning. Next thing you do is you could pick a call to action. The call to action would be with button text, button link, the link that you want the button to go to. Or you could do countdown timer. And I urge you to go to the instructions if you're not clear on how to do any of this. And the next thing you could do is you could pick some of the controls. If you want this to play automatically, if at all possible, which most browsers won't let you do, you click that, play video if possible. Another important thing to click is show preview after video. So after video plays, you'll see this again, what you're looking at right here. Those are the 2 that I always recommend. And if we scroll down further, you see the playback controls. Load video immediately is what I usually do. You could do it when someone exits, or you could do it with a timer. And the position, you have a choice of bottom right, upper left, bottom left, that sort of thing. See that? And then you'll want to put some script in here. Hi, my name is Adrian, and I am a talking face. And then you'll want to choose a voice. If you did purchase my voice, then this is where you would find me under the males. I'm a male voice. If you didn't purchase my voice, of course, some of the great voices are in there. Shane is an upgrade voice, and that's a really good one. And then you could preview how the voice is going to sound. Agree to terms, play.
Hi, my name is Adrian, and I am a talking face.
Okay, so it plays. And in order to get the lips to match up to that, you have to obviously go render it. And when you do render it, it's the bottom right. It says create. You would click create, and then it will actually throw that into the next thing, which I talked about here, is my talking faces. And after you make my talking faces, that's when you could then do some refacing. All right. So let's go to my talking faces. I'm going to leave this. Mine was already made. Remember, we were talking about the sell it one where I was doing a promotion. Then how did I get that page in there? How did I get myself over the actual page, the sales page? I pressed the lower right-hand side. Let me show you that again. I'm going to close that. Everybody see this? This little thing, it says instant URL settings. That's not just instant URL settings. That also includes the embed code. Very important. You know what this is on the bottom right. You click that. Now, here is what I want to show you. You put the name of the website you want to be underneath the Humitar talking face. This is really important right there. So I actually put the link to the sales page for that product, Sell It Picks. I put it right here. This was actually the link for that. And then from there, it's now going to spit out an instant URL. There's only one problem. There's a couple of problems with that. Number one, that is going to show, as I said before, the domain synthesis.io. If you want to show this to a client, you may not want them to see that. We do have a way around that, which I'm going to go over. The other thing that's really important is the embed code. There's two ways to do the embed code. One is a custom way that we show you, taking the actual video number, and that's also going to be on the information page that we're going to give you today. But the main way to do it is to just grab this embed code right here, right what you're looking at, copy it, and then you could put that in the header tag of any HTML page, in the header tag. Now, why is this so important? This is really important because you don't have access to everybody's HTML code to show them this. You could try to get access, but it's not going to be real access. You're not going to really have access to their site, but you can show it to them using that instant URL. In other words, remember before when I showed you this, Joe Skirty Sales? You think they gave me their web page and I put the embed code in? No, I just went on Google, I grabbed the site, and I put this guy right over it.
I would like to invite you to visit our car dealership where we will be knocking down prices by $5,000 on any vehicle you select before Christmas.
Now think about it for a moment. Think about how powerful that is. You could go to Joe Skirty himself and show him that. You grabbed the background page, you put this over that, and you made this look so much better than the original. That's not actually his site that he sees, but he will now see it the way he should see it. That's what the instant URL does. However, what if you were to go back and sell him that embed code right here? Rent it to him on a monthly basis for at least $97 a month. Now, you or he could go in, put it into his header tag, and he could use that as long as you want him to. Just be upfront and say, we're renting you this. We could remove that video at any time, which you can. How could you remove the video? Well, here it is. Well, that's not the exact video, but if I go down here, I'll find it. I'm just going down through the pages here. Here, it's one of these. So it's like this over here. It says David Test or it's one of these guys. I'd have to play it. I didn't mark it clearly enough to know. But like, for instance, this says law firm example. If I was to remove this, and I'm showing this for a law firm.
Let us win you the money that you deserve. Click here to get started.
Yeah, that's the law firm example.
Let us win you the money that you deserve. Click here to get started.
That's on the lower left. I just clicked this so that we could preview it. I want you to know that if you remove this video and you gave them the embed code, it won't work anymore. All right? So you are in control of that. Then when they say, oh, we're sorry, we should have paid you, and here's your money, you can just make a new one and give them the new embed code. Okay? Another big question you've been asking is how could you really edit these properly? And the way to edit it is to do a copy. So there are certain things that you can edit, but you can't edit specifics like the script. So if you really do want to do a full edit of what you've created, then you see this over here in the upper right-hand side, it says duplicate. All you do is you press duplicate, and now you'll have an exact copy of this, and it will bring you into the full editor. All right, and you could edit it and then give over the new code. So you always have to get, when you do edit, you do have to give the new code to them, the new embed code. But if you want to remove the video entirely because they're not paying or your trial is over, you just remove the video. So you're in control. But if you want to show them what it's going to look like, you'd use the instant URL. That is my point. The next thing I want to show you, which I've been teasing this whole time, is how you could show a talking face to a potential client using that instant URL, but hiding that domain name. All right? So one of the things you're going to get in your info pack for being on this webinar is a reminder of how to get into your free bonus that my team has created, particularly Dinesh, thank you, is our short tracks link shortener. Let me show you what that looks like once you log into it. This is what it looks like. I'm just going to concentrate on the main feature. The main feature is to take your long URL. You could do this with anything, but we're going to do it with Synthesis, or should I say the Synthesis suite of products, Talking Faces in this case. Let me go back to where we were. We're going to grab, for instance, this hair salon example. Yeah, we could do that. I'm going to click off where it says include powered by talkingfaces.net. If you have that option, you could click that off. This is the background video in the top. That's going to be the hair salon. This is the instant URL that was produced right here. Notice it's a long link and it includes Synthesis in it. I'm going to do an edit copy. I just did an edit copy. Now I'm going to go into our link shortener and I'm going to paste it. Edit, paste. See how long it is? Now you have a choice. This is really important. You could either do a direct link shortener where you're shortening the link, but you're not going to change the eventual outcome of what it says in the upper URL line in the top. Or we're going to teach you a way that you could use your own domain, or we're also trying to get this to work. Shorttracks.com is also going to be available to you. We're just finishing setting that up. But in this case, I got my domain in there, and I'm picking toddsuggests.com. And we show you in our instructions that we're going to give you today how to do that. Then you click shorten. I had to log in again. Well, anyway, if I was logged in and I click shorten, it would now give me the short link. Let's see if I could log in. I know it says I'm successfully logged in, but it wants me to log in again. All right. Let's try that again. I'm pasting it. I've got my domain. I'm using my domain. I'm doing frame. Just ignore splash. This is a software in progress that we're actually creating for you. So we haven't gotten the splash perfect yet, but the frame works. And then you click shorten. You see everything I've done? And once you click shorten, look, it gave me a toddsuggests.com link. You copy it, and then you paste it. I'm going to do a paste and go. And look at that. She's on the bottom right. Do you see her?
Here at Twisted Scissors, we do everything we can to make you feel comfortable and excited when getting your hair cut. All first-time customers get 20% off any service.
Now we could now go to Twisted Scissors. We could go to them. We could show them this link in the upper part of your screen. Boom. It's your domain. You're going to pick your domain or the short tracks domain, not synthesis. They won't go looking for the synthesis, software. And this would be a great example. Now, I have to tell you, when you use frames like that in our link shortener, the problem is it's not perfect. There's SEO considerations and other considerations that will get in your way if you use this for anything other than examples for clients. So you only want to use that for this particular purpose, is when you want to hide the domain name, synthesis.io, then you use that frame option, all right? So if you have any questions, we'll answer those questions on this later in the webinar. But just briefly, was I pretty clear with that? I'm going to give you, it's a 10-second delay, so tell me if I was clear with my example just now. Okay, I'm just reading your answers. All right, some of these questions are beyond my pay level, and I'm going to have to refer to my team to answer. So I'll ask you to, yeah, some of your comments are pretty good, like about WordPress. I didn't know that. All right, very good. So I'm really glad I tried to be clear, because I know it sounds a little complicated. It's not hard to do at all. To shorten links like that is really easy, and we do give you instructions and everything. So that's good. All right. So that's how to show talking faces to potential clients without showing them the synthesis.io and the URL. However, don't forget, what you want to sell them is probably the embed code, because they already have, their site and their site name, Google knows their site name and everything. So they probably don't want to use your instant URL. They're probably going to want to use the embed code. How to add a talking face to an email. Man, I am like so unique in that I love showing talking faces and other videos in emails. The easiest way is to make an animated GIF out of them. So it's a mini video inside the email. Now, I do have instructions. Again, you'll be getting those instructions because that was something I already gave to you as a bonus on how to do this. But I'm going to just start by telling you a little bit about how I've done this in the past. I'm going to start so that you just see the beginnings. And it's pretty exciting because just by coincidence in the software itself, if we go back to, let's see, I'll go back to page 1. The page 1 would be the latest videos. It's pretty exciting to me that these videos can be made to play over a blank white page very easily. And the way you do that is if you go in, remember I told you before about the instant URL settings, and you want to put in something in here, your site URL, right? Well, let me see if I could find one where we didn't put anything in. This is a Flowers by Webster one. Here's one. All right, so you see this? I'm going to unclick this. See how it just says yoursite.com? That means that nothing's been put in there. If I was to take the link, copy it, right? I'm copying the link, edit, copy, and our beta testers all showed me this. Now I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to paste and go. the actual talking face will show up on the lower right-hand side, like you see on the lower right-hand side of your screen. He's a cool guy, the way he points, right? And notice he's against a white background. Now, why is this important? Let me just check something here. He was not supposed to have include Powered by Talking Faces logo there. I'll have to check with Oliver why that happened. Or maybe because I didn't press save. Save. That's why. All right, now I'm going to do the instant URL again. It will be the same. I'll just hit refresh. It'll be the same. I'm refreshing. And he'll pop up. Yeah, this time he's alone. All right, so now you see what I can do. I happen to have Snagit, but you could do this with so many different pieces of free software. Now, in the instructions that I give you are suggestions. I know that our own Luann Beckman uses, is it Hippo or what's the other one that Luann uses? Sounds like that Chinese dish. Or Japanese, Gyaezo, I think is the name of it. Anyway, you guys can correct me on that. And I'm sorry I made that reference. I hope I didn't offend anybody with that. But Gyaezo, well, anyway, I'm going to get in trouble. Anyway, I use Snagit, which is a low cost but still cost editor. And then what I would do is I would just snag this. You know what's interesting about this is there's the face, the reface. Oh, look at that. I'll have to show that later. Okay. File, save as. I just want to save this for later because I'm going to show refacing later from Instagram. Anyway, I do capture type. In this case, I'm doing video, and I'm going to capture this little guy here on the lower right-hand side. I'm going to capture his video. All right, I'm actually capturing his video right now. All right, and then I press stop. And then I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go to a site called EasyGIF. And then the rest I show inside your training is I just go video to GIF, and then I actually create this little GIF, and then I put it in the email. And putting it in the email is easy. I just put it in as an image. And even though it's a GIF image, it moves, you know, even though I just put it in as an image in my autoresponder. So all that is in the rest of the instructions. I just wanted to show you briefly how I did that and just show you the beginnings of that. But I actually did a video rundown of this, and you'll be getting those instructions again on how to do that. All right. The next thing is the refacing. Okay, we're calling it, by the way, that document I keep referring to is the webinar resource document. And by the way, on my own team, if I say anything wrong, I'll check planning group every once in a while. Hold on. Just want to see if I've messed up on anything. Okay. I haven't. Webinar resource document is what you'll be getting. Next thing is about the refacing. How does the refacing process work? Well, boy, am I glad I found that image just a moment ago. I'm going to go into the software. Remember I said refacing should be not 3, but should be number 4. It's because the refacing utilizes everything from this bank. And I have a bank you saw of many different pages, right? So I'm just going to take a look through my videos before I even go to refacing. Just remind myself of who I've created videos. You know, which human avatars. Humatars, of course, real human avatars. All right, so this is one right here. I want you to look very closely at this gentleman's face. I know it's small on your screen. You can see he's a young man, right? But in the test I did, and let's do we showed it a moment ago, preview on this page. It should be on the lower right over here. Look how different he looks. Why does he look so different? Because not only did I do a refacing, I did a refacing custom, a custom refacing, which is part of the second upgrade, OTO number 2, so to speak, where you can use a custom face. So how did I create this? How did I make this guy look so different? I play it, but it's just silly. It's my voice saying, order me pizza. So let's go to, I'm sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to go back there, and we're going to now go to Talking Faces and Reface. So when you do Reface, you look on the left-hand side, and you pick one of your previous videos, one of your creations that you've already made. So I'm scrolling down and I'm looking at the videos that I've already made. So the gentleman involved that we changed the face of is this
Good
guy.
night, Derek. Thank you for staying up this late. Sleep tight. Go grab Talking Faces before you go to bed.
If Derek is on this, you're probably getting a kick out of this because I think you may have gone to bed before I made that the other day. So what we did is one of you asked for us to make a little goodbye voice. You know, somebody was on the actual webinar. So we did that. We made a goodbye, you know, for Derek. And then I actually took that same video and then I refaced it. Now, how do I reface it? You go over here and you pick a face, you select it, and you're done. You just then click render, and it changes just the face, not the hair, not what he's wearing, nothing except the face. However, you can add an image. So in this case, I already added. I don't have to browse. See, it's on the lower right. It's allowing me to browse for the files. So an example of an incorrect face is the one on the right. Here's a correct face on the left. Here's a really correct face in the middle. And here's an incorrect face on the right where the face is cut off and there's a hat. Didn't work. I tried over and over again. It kept messing up the software. Just didn't work. This one worked beautifully. Do you remember seeing this guy just moments ago in his new form in this guy's face? Do you remember that? All I did is I clicked, I could browse the files, and here he is from Instagram. You're probably on the webinar. If you're on the webinar, say hello. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Anyway, I went into his Instagram, and we have instructions in the software on how to reface custom best ways, best practices. And it's a forward, you should be facing forward, should be a full face image, including the hair, even though the hair is not going to be included. And it worked well. And you guys have been reporting to us that it's working really well for you. It only changes the face 70% of the way or so. Doesn't make it an identical. It'll look like a relative of yours if you use your own face. If you use somebody else's face, it'll look like a relative of theirs. In some cases, it looks pretty much like the person. You know, it's not supposed to look exact. It was designed to not look exact for abuse reasons. But it will look a whole lot like you. All right? So in this case, I picked this like that. I clicked open, and then you see how it just kind of threw it in there, the lower right? See that? There it is. So now I could select that, See that blue line that came around there? It's blue box. And then all I do is just click on render. And I'm done. Now, I don't want to tie up the system, so I'm not going to click on render, because rendering these videos in general doesn't take up much, but when you do a reface, it makes it work really hard. So we only ask that you reface no more than 5 per day, just to be fair to everybody. So I'm not going to do it because I don't want folks to be going into the software and getting hung up because I'm showing an example. However, it's going to throw it into that same section, my talking faces, number 4. And you saw the training tab is number 5. And then I'm going to look for that again, and I'm going to remind you of that image that we just saw. Here it is. Called the test good guy because I like that guy. Let me see if he answered. No, no identical twins, no. Brandon. That's him, Brandon. Thank you. You are here. That was Brandon. Well, let's look at his face again. Let's go to instant URL settings. In this case, it's going to be buyer's agent Ann Arbor. I'm going to copy the link, the instant URL. Again, I put this in based on your feedback, buyer's agent Ann Arbor. I put that in there based on you guys. That creates the instant URL. I'm going to copy it, edit, copy. Then I'm going to put edit, paste. Now, does that look a lot like Brandon or not? What do you guys think? Francis says, let's go, Brandon. All right, I'm going to give that, there's a delay. I'm going to give that 10-second delay to read your comments. All right, you guys want me to order the pizza? I am very hungry. I'm very hungry. Order me pizza. One of the reasons I actually showed that was, even though I was a silly audio that I had made previously, was the lip sync is just so perfect. So even though we refaced this, the lip sync's really beautiful. Sure does. Looks nice. Nice swap. All right. So this looking like somebody else. Now we could have chosen, you know, one of the ones that are already there, the stock ones. Looks like Tom Cruise. No, I don't usually have pepperoni. You can't change the hair, but you can if you were able to make a humitar of yourself for real. Don't tell anyone, but we'll be talking about that in a minute. Did I say that? Anyway, that's how to reface. The last question before we get to your custom questions later. Can you become a talking face? Can you be a real humitar? Not just similarity face-wise, but your clothes, your body, your hair, your movements. Can you become a talking face? And that is something you've been asking us a lot, which brings us to an exclusive offer tonight that we're going to talk about, not just making yourself a talking face, but the potential to make a client a talking face. What if you could use your voice? Let's start there. What if you could use your actual voice inside of talking faces? Your voice or your client's voice. If you went to a client and you said, hey, you think that's pretty cool? What if your voice was in there? So when you have an offer, you just type and your voice pops out. Now remember, my voice was available to you as the 3rd upgrade, and that is obviously going away after the end of this launch period. right? That's going away. But you could actually make your voice automatically now within the software. It prompts you to do it. Now, there's a lot of recording involved. I want to make it clear. You'll have to do a lot of speaking. Not a terrible amount, but a lot. But you can do it automatically now within the software itself. That's amazing. It was just less than 2 years ago where that technology hadn't existed at all yet. I was listening to NPR. I mentioned this on another webinar. They were talking about how it's years away that you could type and have a voice that was really the person. But it's been done, and you know it's been done because my voice is in there, and I did it. And all those other real human voices are in there, like Shane's that we played before, and our real humans did it. And now you could do it too. So our first special offer tonight, and if you already have Human Synthesis Studio's special upgrade and you already have this, we'll tell you how you can upgrade so you can use it for Talking Faces too. But assuming you don't already have it, most of you don't, we are going to allow you to clone your voice, which is so valuable. The ability to clone your own voice with unlimited characters so that you could speak as long as you want. And your cloned voice can be used for any of our suite of products. Synthesis, which is text-to-speech. Human Synthesis Studio, which you may or may not have, which is the one that you use in videos. And if you're not familiar with that and you still want to get that product, that will be in your webinar resource doc. And Talking Faces. You can have your voice actually cloned. Your own voice. And we'll be talking about how to get that in just a moment. But let's take that a step further. Or is it a step farther? All right, I'll tell you a brief story. I don't want to distract, but I never got further and farther correct when I was on television doing weather. And this woman kept calling me up. She was an English teacher. And she kept correcting me over and over again that I was saying it wrong. And I said, okay, but there's got to, I'm saying to myself, there's got to be more important things like, why did I get the forecast wrong that day? But instead I was using farther instead of further. Usually I use further instead of farther for distance. Anyway, I'm on the plane flying down to Florida. Somebody, it may have even been Puerto Rico. Somebody pulls me aside and says, by the way, I'm a friend of this woman that you've been having this conversation with a lot on the phone. I said, the one that keeps calling up and saying I'm saying farther or further. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. And she says, yeah, she wants you to know you're still saying it wrong. I'm thinking to myself, this is unbelievable. I can't even get away from this woman's criticism while I'm on the plane. So to this day, I'm still correcting myself. Farther is distance. Let's take this one step farther. What if you could clone yourself and become an actual humitar like mine? Now, mine looks great in Talking Faces, right? You see me wearing the leather jacket, in other cases wearing a suit. Came out really good. You can see my hand motions that I worked on there. Oh my gosh. So many people really like the way mine came out, and I'm not selling it only because I don't want to be impersonated, just like you might not want to be impersonated. But you could clone your voice and yourself so that you could have yourself speaking and you could just type it. Now, I did this for my parents. Actually, I did this twice. I did it with my parents on the phone with just my voice, fooled them right away. They had no idea that it wasn't me talking, that I was typing the hello and all that. But I did it with one of my best friends. I sent him a video where I talked about old times and that sort of thing. And all he did is he wrote back, he says, we've come such a long way. I should have saved the email for you. We've come such a long way, and there you are, sending me a nice little video hello. He had no idea that it was me typing and me talking, the humitar, the Todd humitar talking face was not me actually doing it live. He thought it was. I mean, it fooled him right off the bat. What if you could create your own humitar for Talking Faces? Now that includes one outfit does it include emotions? Emotions are those beginnings, and I thought it didn't include the emotions. Staff, Shannon, come back. Includes one outfit and emotions. Unlimited videos with your custom Humitar. You can do as many videos as you want. The ability to clone your own voice with unlimited characters. Your cloned voice may be used on Synthesis, Human Synthesis Studio, and Talking Faces, the voice part, obviously. I need some members of my staff to come back and talk about whether or not it includes the emotions where you like spin around at the beginning. Let me
They can
check.
get the emotions.
They can get the emotions?
Yeah, but contact support, it's an extra charge for the emotions.
Okay. Yeah, we'll show you the charges on this in a minute. Obviously, it's very, it takes us a lot to produce these. So we'll show you all that in a minute. There's a third thing. Previous Clone Yourself customers, by the way, may convert their clone to Talking Faces too for a small fee. And all you have to do is contact support for information right there, support at synthesis.io. That is, if you've cloned yourself previously for any other product like Human Synthesis Studio. You know what we're talking about if you did that. Most of you, as I said, did not do that. But hold on. We have one more limited time offer for you today that goes away after today. This is something you can't get later. All right. And this is really, really exciting. And this is the secret club I was telling you about. We can't figure out if this is Cloning Secret Agency Club, Agency Secret Cloning Club. Secret Cloning Agency Club is what we're settling on as the name. And in this case, not only can you create your own Humitar or Talking Faces ×2, meaning one for you and another outfit for yourself, or one that you could sell to a business. All right. Not only that, but unlimited videos with your custom Humitar, meaning as many videos as you want with yourself. There's no limit. And the ability, this is the important part, the ability here to clone up to 10 voices with unlimited characters. 10 voices, and it's similar to if you have the agency license, the client can do that themselves. They can clone their voice themselves. All right, so you could say to a client, how would you like it if I sold you the ability to clone your voice and make your voice a text-to-speech voice? How would you like that? So that you could use it whenever you want. Well, you have that ability to clone up to 10 voices with unlimited characters in this secret cloning club. Plus, if you want to sell them one of themselves, you have 2 now, so you could do that. You could sell them that. The agency panel with the ability to add 10 clients. The agency panel, you remember that. If you have agency, that panel allows you to now add the 10 clients so that they could pick their own voices. You could sell private accounts to the clients who clone their voices. Any of the cloned voices may use either Human Synthesis, which is the text-to-speech product, Human Synthesis Studio, which is the one that is made, you make videos with, or Talking Faces, which is the one where you put the videos on top of the websites. Is that incredible or what? Now, obviously, this is something that, is intensive on our side. Additional human cloning passes, by the way, will be available for purchase as well, which means you have 10 voices. You could go and sell this to multiple clients if you get an additional pass. But what's the basic pricing for this? It is a steal. I have folks on my team who said, how could you charge $97 to clone your voice? Go to toddsuggests.com/TF clone for this. Or for just a few $100s more, you could clone both your voice and yourself. Your voice and yourself. That is your actual likeness, just like mine. And we'll look at mine again in a moment because it'll come out similar. You'll hear the voice is good. Very good. Not perfect, but good. And you'll see the Humitar looks great. Not perfect, but great. All right. We'll actually look at mine in just a moment. And the Secret Cloning Agency Club, where you're selling the ability for other people to use your panel and clone their voices, 10 of them, $9.97, but it also includes everything else that you get on the 2 on the left. It's only $200 more to get 10 more, to get 9 more. Is that incredible or what? When you think about what we're doing on our end. Yes, you can now create your own voice as well. Yes. Yes, so you have mine in there, and now you could create your own. Yes. Yes, there will be a replay on the webinar. Oh, yes, you have great, I see your questions piling in. Absolutely, we'll answer those questions. We're going to have staff in there. They're already answering your questions right now. It's so affordable, you wrote. Well, not everybody can afford this, but this is incredible. It's incredible when you think of what we're doing here. You go to webinars, they sell you things on webinars, and here we're basically responding to you. We're not selling you something that we didn't develop because of you. You asked us for this. You asked us, how do we get you to be in the software? This is sort of like Tron. Is that right? Did I remember that right? He went into the video game in Tron? All right. Yes, I am old. But you guys could correct me on that if I'm wrong. Was it Tron? You create them, Derek. You create them and then send us the videos. But you go and you do it yourself in terms of the voice. You go in and you follow the instructions for the voice. But so you're creating your voice essentially in the software, and you're creating the videos. You just stand in front, I believe, of a white background or something like that. And you do motions. You follow the instructions. If we did this for a car dealership, would we get charged the $9.97 each time? Well, wait a minute, let me make sure I'm reading that correctly. Each time we bring a new dealership. Not $9.97 because there's additional passes, and the additional passes are only a few $100s, I think. Our staff will be able to answer your question on how much they are. No, you don't have to keep spending $9.97. Absolutely not. No. Tron. Yes, it was Tron, where the guy gets trapped inside the video game. How would you like to be trapped, like in Tron, inside as a talking face? It is really you. Famous actor, too. How could I forget? How much do we charge customers per custom clone? Well, I would charge a couple of $1,000s at least. I mean, it's priceless, but I'm going to let my staff ponder that too and give some suggestions. All right, I will go back. I want you to check this link out. Remember the ability. Yeah, there I am messing it up. The ability to clone yourself, both your voice and your actual likeness, is incredible. And I'm going to show you mine again in a moment. The resources document is what I've been talking about this entire time. It includes how to set up your domain name and use it with short tracks for that instant URL. It includes the refacing instructions so that you don't mess that part up. It includes how to add talking faces in emails, which I did the video for. We did all this for you, and it's in the resources doc. This is the link for the resources doc. And this, coming up in a moment after you jot this down, is the link, the Todd Circle. This is my Facebook group. It's for my video products in general, but we just want you to know that there's a lot of action in there for talking faces so that you guys can kind of share ideas on how to use them, how you would best use them, where you would use it. And for instance, you see that I'm doing some page jacking with it, where I put myself in front of sales pages. People are using it for stuff like that, and they're discussing it in there. But don't forget that URL to go to. We're going to answer your questions now. I'm going to look at them. We're going to do that. We're going to also answer it by the whole team is typing in. That's why you're here. We're so happy you're here so we can answer your questions as they come up. But is this an incredible? Tell me if you're in on this. Just post that you are in and which one you chose so that I could read that out. Jeff Bridges, yeah, Jeff Bridges. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that was Jeff Bridges in Tron? Then he goes on to change his persona so much in movies later on. It's crazy. Bo Bridges' son. Just took a sip of water. There's really good questions in there. A lot of them I'm going to need my staff to help me answer. Someone says, I am trapped inside my computer. I am in at 997. Thank you so much. Can you please place the link in the chat? Can